Welcome, welcome. I have a real butt buster for you today. Specifically working your glute med. We are going to do side leg lifts, right? So this is amazing for what I call the good dimple, that sort of groove in the side of your hip that you want. You want to have that, and you want to have that for both hip strength and balance, but also pelvic stability, right? We need those glute muscles to be really strong, and because we live in a lifestyle that we sit a lot, it's really important to be mindful of exercising them. So you're gonna get your mat out or whatever you need for your floor space. You also might want a pillow for your head, and you're gonna come to resting on your side on the floor. So as I'm resting on my side here, you can see this might be nice, like especially if your shoulders are kind of broad, you might want a pillow or a couple of pillows to prop yourself up on. I'm just gonna use my arm and just kind of let my head rest. I'm lining myself up with the back of my mat. If you don't have a mat, or if you want some more feedback, you could do this with your back at a wall or at a couch, so you can really be aware of your alignment. So I'm thinking skull, ribs, pelvis in alignment on the back of my mat, or at the wall, or if you have a sofa that goes all the way to the ground, you could do it there. So I want you to be mindful of that, because also we're going to straighten the top leg, the bottom leg stays bent, and I want the same thing there. I want to see if the foot could be under the pelvis, not hovering forward. I mean, I'm going a little extreme here, but what I see a lot when I do this exercise with people is that their leg starts to migrate forward because the hip flexors are dominating, and we want a little bit more of these muscles on the hip, the side of the hip, the glute, and the hamstring. So also, if your pelvic bowl is a little wider, or your IT band is really tight, mine is a little tight today, I can feel it, that you might want to block underneath the foot there, just so your leg doesn't have to go all the way down to the ground, but it can still relax. So you would be about here, and your leg can relax, and then you lift it from there. So we're just going to start, find the waist lengthening. So you don't want to shorten the waist. So as you lift the leg, you don't want to shorten here. You want to see if you can keep that long. A little lift of your waist here. My colleagues call it the mouse house. So you can keep a little lift there. Use your hand either to monitor your alignment or as a little kickstand on the mat. You're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, there's a little cinching of the belly, and you just lift the leg up. We're looking for this little fold right on the side of your hips here, and lowering down. Maybe you want to keep your hand there to feel, oh, do I feel anything kick in? It should get a little fold in there, and lowering down. We're going to do this 10 times, and we're going to lift for 3 and lower. Lifting 4 and lower. 5. Breathing in. 6. 7. Breathing. 8. Making sure the waist stays stable, the pelvis is stable. 9. We're going to hold up there on number 10. Remember, go at your height. You don't want to lift it so high that you start to shorten in here and lose the mouse house. We're going to keep that just holding there, really opening the front of the hip. Right? As if your leg migrated forward when you did that. You want to see if you open that up, work there the hamstring and glutes a little bit more. And what we're going to do is keep all of this stable, and we're going to do little circles there. Thinking about the up direction and the back direction are the more difficult directions to go, because down we have gravity, forward we have our hip flexor strength. So we're going to lift up, back, down, and around 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold that leg, reach a little longer, get a little stamina in these muscles here, and then bend your knee in and relax. Maybe you give that a little massage, maybe you just kind of tap it around there so you get a little vibration in the hips. And then basically we're going to roll over and do the other side. So I'm going to roll over and have my back facing you so you can see a little different angle, but of course you'll probably want to stay facing the screen so you can see it. Trying to line my body up with my head, my ribs, my pelvis. A little lift in the waist there, so I'm trying to get a little mouse house, a little Tom and Jerry style hole in the wall there. Knees bent. You're going to stretch your top leg out straight. Use a block if you need to. This side might need it, but I'm not going to slow down for that. And we're going to lift the leg up for 1, getting that crease in the side of my hip and lowering down. Make sure your leg is underneath you and not migrated forward, lifting for 2, and down. Make sure the waist doesn't shorten as you lift, 3, and down, 4, breathing in, exhale, 5, and 6, down, and 7, and 8, really folding in here, 9, holding on that 10 one, holding, lengthening a little bit, like I can feel my thigh wanting to move forward, so I'm going to really activate my hamstring a little bit more and open the front of my hip, a little bit more abdominal support too for me. And I'm going to see if I can stabilize my pelvis and my spine there as I do little circles. Remember, the up and the back are the hardest. Try not to lead with your foot by bending your knee, but keep the leg straight, circling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going the other direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down and in and relax. Make your way up to sitting or standing. So as you come up to standing, you might notice that you feel like you're standing a little bit taller, and this is amazing because you're literally riding a little higher on your femur heads because you balanced out all that musculature, and it just balances out how the femur is resting in the socket, which is really great for your bone density and for injury prevention. It was such a pleasure sharing this exercise with you, and remember to share it with your friends and family. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, keep moving.